What's good, everybody? It's Halfway Nuts. Welcome to another Starfield video. In a recent video, I did a quick tip on how to paint your starship in Freestar Collective colors in preparation for all those Freestar Rangers missions you're about to do. And at the end of the video, I gave a glimpse of this starship right here. This is my custom-built Freestar Minotaur. And today, we're gonna build it. Coming up next. And isn't that view spectacular? Alright everybody, as you might expect, every starship build has to start with a platform. In this case, we have a Crimson Fleet Phantom that we are going to use for the basis of this build. Now, up until this video, I would tend to go into my stats and show you all the starship-related perks I have, as well as my crew members. But I think just to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the description of the video. So if you're curious how my perks and my crew might be affecting the stats of the ship as we build it, just go ahead and look in the description and it'll show everything for you down there. But as you can see, we are starting in New Atlantis. We actually don't need to be here right now. This build is actually going to start over at Stroud Eklund. That's going to be the best place to start this build, so let's head on over there and get this build started.
Stroud Eklund is open for business. Come aboard and let's see about getting you a solid upgrade.
Oh, really now? Alright, here we are pulling into the Stroud Eklund Star Yard for the first time. Let's go ahead and dock and head on in there.
Time to cycle the airlock and move.
Alright, time to go find the manager. Where is this dude at?
I'm Walter Stroud, and on behalf of Stroud...
Walter is quite proud of what his company has accomplished, and for good reason.
Revolutionary new starships.
Why does everybody insist on talking all at once?
I came out of curiosity,
Period.
but some of these specs...
A pleasure to meet you. Welcome to the premier star yard in the settled systems. We may be new, but I think you'll see why everyone's talking about us.
What's so different about Stroud Eklund ships?
The other star yards have been in business so long that they're set in their ways. Take Deimos. They've been making spaceships since my grandfather's grandfather's days. So we looked at every facet of these elderly corporations for opportunities to revolutionize and innovate. If you don't believe me, see for yourself.
Oh, I think I will. Your star yard looks very impressive.
Thank you. So, what sort of ship are you looking for?
Are the ships here really better than the other star yards?
In my opinion, yes. Trident and Tayo both value style over substance in their own way. Deimos is positively ancient, very set in their ways, and Hope Tech? Well, you don't look like you want a space barge.
Wow, this dude is just name-dropping everybody. I'd like to view and modify my ship.
Absolutely.
Right then, here we have the Crimson Fleet Phantom. Now, before we get started, one little piece of info that some of you might find interesting. If you are somebody who is not trying to just make a beeline to all the coolest stuff just as fast as you can, there is actually a really easy way to get shielded cargo. You simply have to defeat a relatively high-level Crimson Fleet ship, and you will get a ship that has shielded cargo. So if you're somebody who, like me, I'm just not trying to explore the Red Mile or Crix yet. I'm just not interested in doing that yet in this point in my playthrough. But I would like to have shielded cargo for reasons. This is one way to do it, is to just capture a Crimson Fleet starship. Not all of them have shielded cargo, but most of them do. Alright, what do we need to do to get started? I'm just going to delete the stuff I don't need. I don't need this, because I have a ship that's going to have shielded cargo that's better anyway. I'm going to get rid of all the weapons. Shield. And we're going to get rid of the cockpit and the hab, because we just plain don't need it. Alright, next step is habs. Now, whenever I do Starship builds, I'm usually pretty good at just remembering off the top of my head how I built the Starship the first time, but in this case, I might have to go back and look at some pictures of it. So if there's a lot of transitions and me just jumping around, it's because I have to go back and look at it. So, anyway, we're going to put the, this is a Stroud all-in-one 3-in-1, which I wish to God Nova Galactic would have, but sadly they don't. We're going to put this right here. The reactor and the grav drive are going to go away. We'll fix those and put them back later. Move this back like this. Then the engines are going to just go away, and so is the fuel. Now we have to go to a cockpit. For the cockpit, let's do... I'm just gonna do the best one we can get. Because why not? I got the money. There we go. Now let's see, what comes next? Okay, this piece is gonna go away. The Deimos Docker is gonna move back one. And the next thing I gotta do is put the grav drive on, which is going to be... For now, let's just do this one, and then if we got... no, not that one. This one. And then if we have room for improvement later in the build, then we'll switch it out. Okay, next we gotta do fuel. We are going to do these two fuel tanks right here. So this thing is going to have some pretty insane skip jumping capabilities, even if the grav drive doesn't allow for very long single jumps. And the next thing we need to do is add the reactor. And for the reactor, I'm hoping... Oh, bonkers. It doesn't have the one I want here, so we're going to have to just... We'll just add the one that was already there, because I think we're going to have to do the weapons at a different star yard anyway. So the one that was on there, we'll just put back on there. For the engines... I hope I can do the engines here, because otherwise this is going to get awkward. I cannot. I have to have a B-class reactor. Okay. Well, that's just fine. We'll go ahead and put the original engines back on. We'll do the rest of it elsewhere. Alright, what else can I do here? I think without a B-class reactor, honestly, not that much. I can... Nope, can't do that. I can move the bay rearward, and that makes room for cargo. Now the question is the right cargo pod here? Yes. This one right here. That is the cargo pod for the Stroud Eklund Minotaur Freestar Collective Starship. And I think everything else we have to do elsewhere. So we pretty much just came over here just for a cockpit and a hab by the looks of it. Alright, let's take this over to... I'm not sure where I need to go to finish this up, so I'll just surprise you. Okay then, here we are in the builder over at Jemison in New Atlantis, and I think we can do pretty much everything we need to do back over here except the weapons. We're going to have to go to yet another star yard to do that, but let's go ahead and get rid of the stuff we don't need. Oops. Got rid of the hab. Thank goodness you can put it back. Okay, now we need to do mostly cosmetic stuff. So let's go to structural. Then we need to go down to the Nova Galactic stuff. And put these right here on either side. Okay, looking good already. Now, what comes next? Back up the line to the Deimos cosmetic stuff, and we gotta put this cowling right here, and then put this right there. And as you can see, it's starting to come together. Alright, from this point, there's a couple of steps that have to happen in a really specific order. So we have to put a grav drive in. This grav drive is going to drive me nuts. And then we have to put a reactor in, so that we can put some cosmetic cowling on the rear. And I think I'm just going to go with this one. It's not quite as good as it could be, but I'm not trying to go for insane OP to begin with. Now we need to go to structural and put this basically under cowling piece on, just so that it doesn't look like crap. And then for the engines, let's do these engines right here. Should be more than enough. I'm aiming for kind of in the mid-80s as far as mobility, so I think once we add on like the shield and the weapons, we're gonna drop down a fair bit from 100, but it'll be alright. Okay, now everything else we have to put on elsewhere, so we're back to having to move around again. I think I can either go back to Stroud or I can go over to Hope Tech. I guess we'll have to see what comes next. Alright folks, here we are back at Stroud Eklund, and I'm pretty sure we can accomplish everything else we need to here at this star yard. Is there a more efficient way to do this than going back and forth between New Atlantis and Stroud Eklund? Probably, but hey, whatever, we're making progress. One thing I have noticed in this game that I haven't showed you up until now is every once in a while, if you're in the middle of modifying a ship, sometimes it will rename itself. So this used to be called Crimson Fleet Phantom, but if you look at it now, it is called Ecliptic Combat A01, which is just weird. So if you let this sit like this for an unknown amount of time, it might actually disappear. And all of a sudden you're just stranded and it won't appear at your landing spot, wherever that is, be it at a port or just out in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes it'll just disappear. So as long as it has decided to rename itself for some weird reason, we're just gonna go ahead and name it what it needs to be. Let's go into the naming thingy. I don't know what this is called. Hey, whatever. Okay, Freestar Minotaur. Boom. Done. Okay, with that out of the way, what do we do next? I think let's go ahead and put the shield on. And it's going to be this shield right here. Are there better shields? Probably, but I like the way this one looks. And rule number one when you're playing Starfield is look cool while you're doing it. Everything else is an afterthought. Alright. Next is the weapons. So for the weapons, we are going to go way down here to these pulse lasers right here. Now, inevitably somebody's going to go in the comment section and be like, oh, particle beams are better. You know what? I don't care. If you want to make yourself and your starship so OP that the game just isn't fun anymore, then you go ahead and do that. But this is my build. We're going to do it my way. And if you don't like it, well, call the police.
You're under arrest. No sudden moves.
Right then. Put this right under yonder. There we go. Making progress. Next is the missiles, and for those, we're going to go with 2 of these on either side right here. And for the gun, I am going to go with a railgun by this same brand. Going to do a fully automatic one. Let's do this one. Boom. Done. So now all the weapons are the same brand just for the sake of consistency, because rule number 1 is looking cool, rule number 2 is consistency. Alright, last thing we do before we paint it is I think I can afford to have a slightly better grav drive, because before my mobility was about 86. Well, let's see if we can get something that's a little higher than 18. 22. Go with this one. It drops us down to 88, and so now you have a ship that, for all practical purposes, is decent. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to be just this OP unstoppable force. You know, you want the game to be a little bit interesting. So, I'm going to go ahead and approve this. I can't. Why can't I? Ship has weapons that must be assigned to a group. Okay, let's assign the weapons. We're going to do it frontier style. So we're going to do lasers, cannons, missiles. Boom. And we are almost done. You know what? I had to go back to New Atlantis because you know how I am about having open snap points on my ship. I just can't do it. So with that in mind, we're back at New Atlantis again, and I'm gonna put this right up here. Boom. And we are ready to paint it. Let's do that. Alright, let's paint this thing. So I'm gonna select the whole thing, and we're gonna do the light brown first. Now, if you missed my Freestar Collective Paint Job Made Easy quick tip video, then we're gonna paint the ship right here, right now. We're gonna start with the light brown. The hue for the light brown is 9 clicks from the left. So we're going to take the hue, which is all the way to the left already, and we're going to move it to the right 9 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The saturation is 30 clicks from the right. So we're going to move the cursor all the way to the right, and then back towards the left, 30 clicks. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. There we go. Now for the brightness on the light brown, it needs to be 40 clicks from the right. So we're going to take the brightness and move it all the way to the right, and then back to the left, 40 clicks. There we go. That is the light brown. So I'm just going to take this and apply it to all 3 color palettes. Alright, the entire ship is now that very distinctive kind of light brown, straw brown kind of color. We have that for all 3 colors. Now we need to take specific ones and make them dark brown. Alright, next thing we're going to do is the dark brown. So I have already picked out the accent pieces that I want to be colored in dark brown. It's basically the cargo pod, the landing gear, the entrance bay, the fuel tanks, the grav drive, the docker, and some of the cowling. So let's go ahead and select this and do the dark brown shade. Now, some of you might be curious, well, how did you get this color palette? Well, I actually captured a Freestar Collective Starship and reverse engineered the color, and so this is the exact color of the Freestar starships, at least the Freestar security ones. Now, For the dark brown, the hue is 9 clicks from the left, and so we will not change the hue at all. The saturation is 38 clicks from the right instead of 30, and so for all these colors, we will just move the saturation 8 additional clicks towards the left. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Go ahead and accept that. So the biggest change to the brown is the brightness. Instead of 40 clicks from the right, it's going to be 27 clicks from the left. So we're going to go ahead and change that right here, right now. Alright, the brightness is all the way to the left, and we're going to go back to the right, 27 clicks. Alright, now we have the proper color. The only thing is it's on color 3, so it's not going to show up very well. I need to do it with the rest of them. So let's fill out colors 1 and 2. Alright, all 3 colors match, and as you can see, this is really starting to look like a Freestar Collective Starship through and through. The next one is that very distinctive sort of medium darkish gray. That one's actually pretty easy. We're going to select this part, basically the engines, the shield, the reactor, and this piece of cowling right here, and go into the color palette. Now, the way this is going to work is the colors 2 and 3 are going to be the same light brown as most of the rest of the ship, but color 1 is going to be this gray color, so the hue and the saturation is going to be all the way to the left. 0 clicks from the left. And again, this is just for color 1. Colors 2 and 3 are going to be the light brown from the nose of the ship, all the colors that are towards the front of the ship, and then the brightness is going to be 20 clicks from the left. So we're going to move this all the way to the left, and then back to the right, 20 clicks. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Boom. Isn't that cool looking? If you're all about those Freestar Collective guys and their quests, then this is definitely going to be the ship for you. This thing looks awesome. So I think we're done. Let's go ahead and approve this. Everything is nominal. The next thing we have to do is go find an enemy and see how this thing does in combat. Destroy the Crimson Fleet White at Z Afuchi. No problem. Right then, the difficulty is currently on Masochist mode, as you can see. So let's see what we have to deal with in terms of space combat. Thank God this Crimson Fleet White has crappy mobility, because I think I'd be in trouble otherwise. I might be in trouble anyway, because there's lots of other ships out there that are currently shooting at me. Oh shit.
Their shields are gone. Gone! Ah! Got their grav drive.
I might be screwed. Yikes! Run away! Bye-bye. Alright, let's approach this from a different angle. I'm gonna drop my engine down and my lasers up. You know what? Screw that guy. He's freaking dead in the air anyway. Let's go with the weaker ones first. Why can't you just die?
Target's jump drive is down.
There's one. think I'm gonna be screwed anyway.
Not good. Lost the grav drive.
I
Not
see
good.
that, Barrett.
Lost
Thank
the grav
you.
drive.
You lose!
Target's shield system is fried. Target's grav drive is offline. Nice work.
Whoa. Okay, I got one more fast mover. Right there. Take him out just as quick as I can.
Target's grav drive is down. So sorry.
See, if I did particle beam weapons, this wouldn't be any fun. I would just like 3 shots and we're done and I'm out of here.
Target shields are wrecked.
Let's make it interesting. You big sumbitch, you're done. I'm still on, yeah, very hard mode. I think it's just because these ships are so big, it's hard for them to maneuver
Damn,
around.
their shields are gone.
You're done!
And I'm out of ammo. Where's this guy think he's going?
Easy money.
And their grav drive is fried.
And that's it.
Oh, good. Grav drive is back up.
So how does this thing actually fly? Well, in the condition that it's in, not very well. Oh man, my engines took a beating. Let's fix this and then we'll fly it around for a second. Alright, after some much needed repairs, I can happily say this thing flies around pretty damn well. This thing is really fast, at least as far as my lack of Starship speed perks will allow. Mobility is pretty good. I mean, it's got 88 mobility, so it better be able to dogfight. I mean, honestly, the Starship isn't even that big. It's got decent cargo at, well, what is the cargo? Let's see here. The cargo is about 951 with my current perks and crew, so that's pretty good for a Starship this small. It's got good weapons as long as you use them right and pick the right enemies at the right time. It looks good doing it too, which is, like I said, rule number 1 is look good while you're playing Starfield. So let's head down to the ground and check out the interior, and then we'll be done.
It's clear. Initiating landing sequence.
Kila City. Alright, let's check out the interior of the Starship here at Aquila City. This one should be pretty quick, it's only 1 hab. But as you'll notice, the Stroud-Eklund cockpits are absolutely huge. I think even the small ones are huge. I think you can put 4 crew members in here instead of 2, like a lot of normal cockpits. It's pretty crazy how big this bridge is. So, and this isn't even the biggest one they have. Alright, right here is the captain's locker, and then I think over here somewhere is the cargo hold. Right here. So that's the cockpit for you. Really sleek looking cockpit. Nice coloring. I like the Stroud-Eklund habs, I really do. I don't like the fact that I had to use a Deimos landing bay, but hey, whatever. The colors are pretty similar. And actually, the difference between Deimos and Stroud-Eklund interiors comes down to just coloring for the most part anyway, so. But here is the static clutter that turns up in the all-in-one 3x1 from Stroud Eklund. Got a functioning, I think this is a functioning galley. You can make food here. Yes, right here. Where is the marker for? Right there. And yeah, it's just a really nice 3x1 all-in-one hab. I really wish all the manufacturers made these, but like, for example, Nova Galactic, if you want one that's just, you know, 1 hab wide, it has to be, you know, 2 habs long. All they have is 2x1s. They don't have 3x1s. Or you can get one that's just like a 2x2, but then your Starship starts to get like unwieldy and hard to make it look interesting. Just my personal opinion on that. And of course we have a lavatory, my precious. So yeah, whatever you do, don't have a Starship without a lavatory. Otherwise that's just weird. Why would you do that? For some reason there's no static clutter in here. I figured there'd be like soap dispensers and like some bathroom related stuff on these shelves, but apparently not. Okay. Somebody's been drinking Terra Brew. And that's it. That's the interior of the Freestar Minotaur. Well, dudes and dudettes, this build was fun. It was a pain in the ass when I did it the first time, but the second time around it was a little bit easier. I must have spent so much money swapping out this part with that part with the other part to try to make it look and function the way I wanted to. Holy shit, was it expensive. But I ended up with a ship that I think is pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I cannot wait to do the Freestar Rangers side quests, because this ship, rocking this ship is gonna be spectacular for that. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a lot of space battles with this, but hey, I'm definitely gonna look cool doing it. Alright, that's the video for today. Questions, comments, put them in the comments section of the video. Otherwise, until next time, this is Halfway Nuts telling you, don't go nuts. That's my job. I'll catch you later.